hardest thing to give away, and the last thing on your mind today. It always goes to those who don't deserve.
What was it like for you writing a book?
Well, really, I'm a storyteller at heart, and that's really what got me to start writing songs as a way of telling the story of my life. I do it through the songs that I write. But I've been on a mission over the last few years to tell a story of a different kind through my music. And what I've been doing is I've been giving people, anybody who wants to, the opportunity to share the story of their life with me. And it's those stories that have been inspiring the songs that I've written. In the last few years, I've received over 20,000 stories from people all over the world who have just responded to my invitation. It was an open invitation. And so in writing this book, I really was able to draw from some of these powerful, true stories that people wrote to me. And many of those stories dealt with the topic of forgiveness from one angle or another. Some stories dealt with somebody's journey of learning how to forgive somebody who wronged them. Another would be how they learned to ask for forgiveness and humble themselves because they had done something wrong. Or maybe it was a topic about learning how to forgive yourself for past mistakes or the shame or guilt you might feel in your life. And then finally, that most important question about forgiveness is, have I embraced the forgiveness offered to me by God through his son Jesus? And so this book is not just my writing, but each chapter begins with the true story of somebody's journey out of the darkness of bitterness and into the light of forgiveness. Well, one of the things that I hope is that the fact that the book is really driven by true stories. You've got a story of a guy named Joe who almost threw his marriage away, but he humbled himself and went back to his wife and asked for forgiveness. You've got another story from a mom who allowed a relationship with her daughter to become so distant that she doesn't know if she's ever going to get to talk to her daughter again. I mean, so these are just real stories that I think we can find a bit of our own stories in there. And I think that's what I think readers are going to take away from it is, hey, at one point in time in all of our lives, maybe even right now, we're having to deal with that word forgiveness, and we're having to make a choice. Am I going to let this relationship with my family member or my coworker or my business partner completely fall apart, or am I going to choose forgiveness? Am I going to let the devil win in my life by making me believe that I'm a guilty criminal and that not even God could love me? Or am I going to let forgiveness win? And so in one way or another, I think we can all find our way into these stories that people are going to read, and hopefully they can say, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that struggles with this topic of forgiveness, but I know that God's going to take my hand. He's going to lead me the rest of the way, and there is a way to find true freedom in our lives. Just ask that woman, Renee. She's found it. The smile on her face is proof. Ask that criminal, Eric, who's now a free man. You see the joy in his eyes, and you know that forgiveness is real and it can set a prisoner free.